Our shoulders have this big, wide range of motion, and they're pretty complicated, and they have all those little surrounding muscles, and it can be really useful to build strength in that area. And one of the simplest ways to build shoulder strength is through push-ups. And I'm going to show you a few ways to progress push-ups, particularly if like having weight on your wrist is uncomfortable, or you have some shoulder issues and you're like, no way, I'm doing a push-up. There may be ways that you can do that movement that don't cause pain and that maybe can assist you in building progressive strength. So I have my lovely model here, Mark, and we're going to start by just warming up our shoulders. I don't mean to laugh, you really are laughing. We're going to start by warming up our shoulders with some shoulder cars, which are controlled articular rotations. When you do this, move slowly and with control. And if you start to have pain, you can pull back from that point. Don't go beyond where that kind of pinching or pain starts for you. So start with your left arm down by your side. Your thumb is facing forward. Your palm is facing your body. And as I ask you to rotate your arm, you're going to be rotating from the shoulder. So not from the wrist, but from the shoulder. So try to keep that in mind. Start by drawing your arm up to the point where it says, hey, I'm not going any further. Once it gets to that point, you can start to rotate your arm so that your thumb starts moving towards the midline, and then continue drawing that circle and continue rotating your arm. So when you get down to the bottom, your thumb may be pointing backwards. And once you're there, your palm will be facing out away from your body. Reverse, so you draw it back up, keeping your thumb where it is, and then you're going to get to a point where your arm doesn't move anymore. You unwind your arm from the shoulder, draw it up, around, and back down. So try that maybe 2 more times on this side. So up, gets to a point where it stops. You start rotating your arm. Your thumb moves away from you and towards the back. And then you continue drawing it down and around. Get to a point, reverse, your arm comes back, and it says, hey, wait, I can't move anymore. So you unwind your shoulder, opening it into external rotation, coming back up and around. And then one more time. And this is just to start warming up and notice what your range of motion is, and notice if there is discomfort or pain anywhere else or anywhere. Okay, we're going to go on to the next shoulder. So again, start with your arm down, palm facing in, thumb facing forward, draw your arm up. You'll get to a point where it's like, whoa, and then you start winding it so that your thumb moves backwards, and continue drawing that circle. And when you are at the bottom, your thumb will most likely be facing maybe towards the back-ish, and then draw it back up. It'll pause, unwind as you bring your arm back up and around. And we'll do that twice more. And really don't go past the point where like pinching or pain starts to happen. This is just to mobilize things, and you start getting synovial fluid moving, getting it to a point where it's ready to move more. So this is our last one. Controlled articular rotations. Make sure they're really controlled, and the movement is coming from the shoulder. So once you finish that, you might wiggle things out a little bit. And my lovely friend Mark, our lovely friend Mark, is going to demo some ways to progress push-ups. So if getting down onto the floor and like having your hands like this and pushing is like, no, that's fine. It's that way for many people. So one of the first ways you can start is by going to a wall placing your hands at the wall. And the further out you walk your feet, the more weight you're going to be bearing in your arms. So you just try lowering yourself towards the wall by bending your elbows and then pushing yourself away. You could try that a few times if you're trying it and see, like, maybe that makes it more doable. And if that is something that is like, yeah, but I don't feel too much when I do that, I think maybe I could add something onto that. Another option would be using a chair, setting it up in a place where it's not going to slip or it's not going to fall over. You can place your hands on the back of the chair, walk your feet out to the extent that you feel like that's a good amount of body weight to support you or for you to try supporting, and then try doing a few push-ups that way. And you could also use a counter or, yes, the arm of a couch for that. And Mark's going to demo 2 more ways to push up, but I'm just going to say that it doesn't have to specifically be the things that I'm showing you. He's going to turn the chair and use the seat now because the seat's a little bit lower. So if you decide to, as you progress the push-up, this is going to be even more body weight because he's lower here. And then he does it using the chair seat. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Awesome. And then just a typical push-up on the floor.
Put knees down.
Oh, knees down. That's a great option. Knees down on the floor is another option. And you could even place blocks under your hands for this to lift your upper body up more.
Yeah.
And that would be taking some of the weight out of the equation. And you can be trying these out, or you could just watch and think about it for later. And then eventually things may lead you to the point where you're like, try some push-ups on the floor so you keep a straight-ish body. I mean, your body has curves, but keep your body aligned like that without letting things drop down, and basically lower from plank. Thank you, Mark. Nice job. So this is just like, these are examples of ways that we can progress these movements, that there are always ways to kind of change a movement, to take some of the force out of the movement, to put more in. I mean, if you get to a point where push-ups are easy for you at the floor, you can always place your feet up so that you have even more, or you can place weight on your back. So if you're trying those out, you can take your time finishing up.